What's up guys, Shane here with Fugatech 3D Printing, and today I'm going to show you how to make a custom nameplate for your Anycubic i3 Mega. So welcome back guys. So I'll say right off the bat here, I am not the originator of this idea. I happen to see it in Devin's review of the Anycubic i3 Mega. So Devin runs the Make Anything 3D printing channel. Well, maybe there's more than that, but mostly 3D printing. And I mean, this guy is probably one of the top producers of original content on YouTube when it comes to 3D printing. He has amazing ideas and I love watching his channel, so please go check him out. When he did his review, I happened to see that he had a nameplate over top on the Anycubic i3 Mega. And I was like, wow. So I looked in the video description expecting to see an STL4, but there wasn't one. And he actually didn't even mention it in that video or any other one. So I looked down the video description expecting to see an STL file, but there wasn't one. So I watched the video again and he actually never even mentioned the fact that he made this. And I didn't see that in any other video that he posted when he was talking about it. I may have missed it, but I didn't see that. So I figured, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and take his idea and run with it and see if I can produce one myself. Now I created this in Fusion 360, and before I show you actually how I did it, going through the timeline and all the things I made, I'm gonna walk you through the result. So here's my very first one. This was printed in 3D Solutech Silver Metal PLA. This is not actually a metal filled PLA, it's just called that. It is just a silver PLA plastic. Now you can see here I have my logo here, or my 3D printing, you know, here's my channel name basically, and the Anycubic i3 Mega there. But if we look really close, you can see the letters are not filled in. Now that is because either I suck at my settings and couldn't figure it out, or B, the letters are too doggone small. I'm gonna go with B, because I'm really sure that's what it is. My settings are pretty on par when it comes to printing detailed things, but either way, it didn't fill all those in. So I was like, you know what, I need to make it bigger. And this also felt a little bit heavy. This is 4 millimeters thick. I was like, Matt, maybe that's a little bit too big. So I went ahead with a redesign. I took it down 2 millimeters and I changed up my lettering and I came up with this next model. So here I have it here. Now this is printed in Forgitech Black and the, what's this one? Arthrobot White PLA is what I used for this. Now this was only 2 millimeters thick and it is super duper thick. This right here, this black section is actually only 2 layers. So that was actually ended up being way too thin, and you can actually see the black come through here a bit. So yeah, it ended up being way too small. I had a little bit of shifting when I did the dual color print. But the main thing I wanted to look at here was how did the letters look, and the letters filled in better. Not exactly perfect, but better. So I need to go a little bit bigger on these in order to be able to fill those in. And then we have here my final result, which I thought turned out really, really nice. Very little bit of the letters didn't fill in, but this is actually 3 millimeters thick in total, and when I did the dual color print it did not shift at all, so I got a perfectly square print right on top of the other one, and I'm just super happy about that. And so this is going to end up being the final one that I use. And now that you see the results, let's go ahead into Fusion 360 and see how I made this, and hopefully it'll help you guys make one yourself. Alright, so here we are in Fusion 360, and here is my completed model. Down here you can see my timeline is very short. I had to make very few changes, and I was able to get it very quickly actually. So let's run through the timeline on what all I had to do to make this a reality. And we're going to start right here with the very first sketch. So what I did is I took a ruler and pair of calipers to measure out how big the actual front plate was for the Anycubic i3 Mega. And it is 268 across by 66 millimeters high. And then I measured the LCD cutout in the sticker on the front, and that ended up being at 75 millimeters by 51 millimeters. I also noticed that the LCD is completely squared from the left to right and top to bottom right in the middle. So I took the 51 and the 66, subtracted them, and I got 15. So this line right here is 7.5 millimeters, which is a 15 total. So I just went to the center of the model, went up 1.75 millimeters with a line, and then created my box into there. Very simple to do. Then what I went ahead and did is I extruded this, I double click, 4 millimeters to give it some depth. 4 again was a little bit too big, but that's okay. We moved on from there. I created another sketch, and that are these 2 boxes right here on the top plane of this model. Now these are just to add a little bit of depth, a little bit more details to the print, just to make it a little bit more unique. And I went ahead and extruded that, and I cut it, so I extruded it down into the model 1.5 millimeters, again, give it a little bit more depth, make it look a little bit more fancy. And then I added a chamfer right here, a 1mm chamfer. Could have went a little bit more, but I like the 1mm. And I did that to the outline of the model as a whole. And then I did it to the outline of the LCD insert, or the cutout right here in the middle. I wanted these to remain square out here. Again, you can add it anything you want. You can do a fillet, and sorry, not fillet. You can do a fillet instead of a chamfer if you want. I wanted the chamfer just because it's a nice, clean, straight cut off the corner. All right, next I went ahead and created 2 more sketches, and that is the Anycubic i3 Mega and the Fugatech 3D printing. Now you saw in my first one, it went straight across on both sides. It was too small. I scaled these up. So if I actually go into the sketch here, and then if I double click on the text, you can see these are 14mm high. I probably could still make them maybe 16mm high, make the text a little bit bigger, and be able to fill in those letters just a little bit more, but that's okay. And then this Berlin Sans FB is the text I ended up choosing to use for the model. You can pick anything you want, but that's just what I ended up with. The next 4 extrude here are for actually raising up the text, and this is all raised up 1.5mm, so the top of the text meets the top of the actual model. It's, whoops, let me get out of that. Yeah, so the top of the text meets the top of the model and makes it nice and flat, so I wanted that to be nice and even there, so it looks really nice. And then, so this was the first model printed out in the silver. So then I was like, well, that's too thick, so I went ahead and did a extrude, but I cut into the model 2mm to make it thinner. Well, as we saw, this black part here was only 2 layers thick, and that's way too thin. So I went ahead and added on another millimeter from the bottom, and that gave me a 3mm total build height, and that seemed to come out absolutely perfect. And so again, this is what we ended up with. Now with Fusion 360, once you've named your model, you can just right click up here, save as STL. Sometimes this is checked. You're going to want to uncheck that, where it says send to 3D print utility, hit OK. Name your model, or if you right click where that is, it'll end up coming right up. You can also, and just do that and hit save. You can also go to your bodies, right click the body and hit save as STL, hit OK. It's going to come up as body 1, you'll just have to rename it. But again, clicking up here on this is a quick and easy way to save it with the model, with a name that you've actually named the file. Now you can throw it in your slicer, and if you go ahead and follow my multi prints with Simplify 3D, you can go ahead and print this out in the dual color, which I did, or you can print out in one color if you want to. And you do need a big printer for this. So sadly, I wasn't able to make this to print on the Anycubic. I had to print this on my FT5, or you can print on the CR10. You could always go ahead and draw a line in the middle here, do split bodies and split this into 2 pieces, and then just glue them together. That would easily fit on any printer, because that would make it 140 across, on each part. So that's pretty simple to do, and that way you can actually make it fit on the Anycubic i3 Mega. So that's it, guys. It is super quick and easy to do this. Fusion 360 is a free tool to hobbyists. I'll put a link down below where you can download it for free. It is completely legal. I highly recommend that everyone out there download it, start playing with it, figuring things out. I ask my friends all the time on how to do things in the software. I am nowhere near a pro, so please don't think that I am, and don't quote me on anything. I might have said something wrong. I've just been using it for the past 8 months to edit STLs for 3D printed parts that I want to change up or modify, or things here at the house I want to fix. And it's very basic, but again, you can just start with that and build up. This was a whole, like 4 sketches to make this super easy, and I liked it. So I want to thank Devin for his inspiration. He always says stay inspired at the end of all of his videos, and I really truly believe that. So I thank him for his inspiration and in making this, and now I have a pretty nifty little nameplate for the front of the printer. And the last thing I need to do is just get some glue, take off this old sticker, slap this one on there, and it'll be good to go and look nice and fresh. So I hope you guys enjoyed this project. I hope you thought it was pretty cool, and if you did, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you didn't, thumbs down. Leave me some comments down below for or against the video. I'd love to talk to you guys about what I can do to make other videos like this. If you guys want to stay updated on my channel, please hit that subscribe button. If you want to stay uber updated, hit that bell icon. That way you get an email notification anytime I upload new content. If you want to support me and help support making projects like this, become a patron. Down below is a link. Donate me $1 more. I greatly appreciate it. Current patrons, you guys are awesome as always. And if you want to support me without directly donating to me, you can use some of the affiliate links down below. I'll have some links for all the products that I used in here for the filament that I've been using. Go ahead and use those, do your daily shopping as well, update your bookmarks, and a little slice of what you buy comes here to me to help build the channel, buy things for it, things like that. So thank you guys for watching, and until next time, happy printing!